You've been lied to your entire life. The most dangerous people on this planet aren't the ones working 24/7. They aren't the hustle gurus bragging about their 4 a.m. wake-up calls, or the CEOs sleeping under their desks. The truly dangerous ones, the ones changing the game, making the real moves, operating on another level. They're the ones who have mastered something everyone else treats as weakness: the art of deliberate, strategic rest. I'm not talking about collapsing from exhaustion or taking a vacation once you're already burned out. I'm talking about rest as a weapon, rest as a competitive advantage, rest as the secret ingredient that separates the elite from the average. We've normalized exhaustion to the point where "I'm so tired" has replaced "hello" as our standard greeting. We wear our dark circles like badges of honor. We brag about how busy we are, how little we sleep, how much coffee it takes to keep us functioning. As if slowly destroying ourselves is something to be proud of. I used to be that person, the one who'd answer emails at 2 a.m., who'd skip meals because "I don't have time," who'd feel guilty for taking a shower because that's 10 minutes I could be productive. I thought I was outworking everyone. In reality, I was just outworrying them. Then my body did what bodies eventually do when you ignore them long enough. It shut down. Not dramatically, not all at once, but in those small, insidious ways that are almost worse. My creativity dried up. My joy disappeared. My work, the very thing I was sacrificing everything for, became mediocre at best. I wasn't living. I was surviving, and barely that. That's when I learned the truth that changed everything. Rest isn't what you do when the work is done. Rest is what makes the work worth doing in the first place. Think about a predator in the wild. A lion, a wolf, an eagle. What do they do most of the day? They rest. They conserve energy. They wait. And when the moment comes to strike, when that gazelle appears or that fish swims by, they explode into action with a force and precision that's terrifying to witness. They're not frantic. They're not scattered. They're focused, intentional, and absolutely deadly in their effectiveness. That's what proper rest does for a human being. It doesn't make you soft. It makes you dangerous. But here's the problem. We've forgotten how to rest. What most of us call rest is actually just a different flavor of stress. We collapse on the couch and immediately reach for our phones, bombarding our already overstimulated brains with more information, more outrage, more comparison. We call it Netflix and chill, but there's nothing chill about binging 3 seasons of a show while simultaneously scrolling Instagram and answering work texts. That's not rest. That's digital chaos. But there's something even more important at stake here. When you're chronically tired, chronically stressed, chronically overwhelmed, you become small, defensive, reactive. You start making decisions from a place of fear and scarcity rather than vision and abundance. Your world shrinks to just getting through the day. And that dream you have, that impact you want to make, that person you want to become, it gets pushed further and further away until one day you wake up and wonder where your life went. I don't want that for you. I don't want it for myself. I don't want it for any of us. So how do we do it? How do we reclaim rest in a world that's wired for exhaustion? Here's what I've learned. First, recognize that rest is a skill, not just an absence of activity. Like any skill, it takes practice. Start by actually scheduling rest, not as a reward after everything else is done, but as a non-negotiable part of your day. Put it in your calendar. Protect it like you would an important meeting, because it is one. It's a meeting with yourself. Second, create clear boundaries between work and rest. That means no checking email in bed, no bringing your laptop to the dinner table, no taking calls during your walk in nature. Multitasking isn't a superpower. It's a recipe for being mediocre at multiple things simultaneously. When you work, work. When you rest, rest. The clarity of that boundary is what gives each side its power. Third, experiment with different types of rest until you find what actually restores you. For some people, it's time in nature. For others, it's deep conversation with a friend. For me, it's 20 minutes of complete silence followed by playing the piano. Badly, but with great enthusiasm. The point isn't what you do, it's how it makes you feel afterward. Are you more clear, more calm, more you? That's real rest. Fourth, surround yourself with people who value rest. We absorb the energy of those around us. If everyone in your life is operating at a frantic pace, constantly talking about how busy and important they are, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to slow down. Find the people who know how to breathe, who know how to laugh, who know that life isn't just about what you produce. And finally, be patient with yourself. If you've been running on empty for years, it's going to take time to refill your tank. You might need more rest than others for a while. You might feel guilty or anxious when you first start prioritizing it. That's normal. Keep going. The person you become when you're fully rested is worth meeting. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine waking up and feeling clear, calm, ready. Imagine having the energy to not just get through your day, but to actually live it. Imagine making decisions from a place of wisdom rather than exhaustion. Imagine being so present with the people you love that they feel it. Imagine doing your work with a focus and creativity that surprises even you. That's what becomes possible when you learn to rest well. The world doesn't need more tired people doing more things. The world needs more fully alive people doing the right things, with clarity and with purpose. So put down your phone tonight, turn off the notifications, set a boundary, take a breath, go for a walk without your earbuds. Stare at the sky for no reason. Do something, anything, that reminds you that you're a human being, not a human doing. Because you are not what you produce. You are not your job title. You are not your follower count. You are a living, breathing miracle of consciousness, capable of more than you've let yourself imagine. But only if you rest, only if you recharge, only if you remember that your worth isn't tied to your productivity. Learn to rest so well it makes you dangerous. Rest isn't weak. Rest is warrior strategy. And the battle for your precious life is too important to fight with depleted resources. If this message resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments, what's one way you're going to prioritize rest this week? Until next time, remember, your power isn't in how long you can push yourself. It's in how well you can replenish yourself. Rest well, my friends.